We'll go ahead and go on number 9. Discussion and possible action on the MOU with DHR's workforce.
Mr. Chairman, one second. As to your last suggestion, both council members and myself were caught up on the financials with our CPA, I believe, last week or the week before, but the contracts we have not been up to date.
Okay. Okay, great. So y'all already kind of looked at it. But yeah, let them look at those contracts, guys, because, I mean, they really nailed us with those contracts.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what do we got? Aaron, what do we got on DHR?
Councilman, I believe we have Ms. Lamas from Workforce Solutions and Jessica Martinez from DHR joining us by phone.
Okay, go ahead, put them through.
Ladies, are y'all there?
Ms. Martinez?
Yes, this is Diana Llamas from Workforce Solutions.
And this is Jessica Martinez from DHR.
Ladies, thank you for joining us. We can hear you. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Councilman, if I may, I asked the ladies to join us. We've been working on a project for a little over a year now. There was an MOU that we had. We've took some time to develop the curriculum. This partnership is pre-budgeted for the $50,000. Last time we were just asked to go out and tell us what kind of programs you're going to bring to us. This is the budget we have. We did put it in our final budget. We've been meeting so that we can partner. And DHR is developing the curriculum. They will be the instructors of the curriculum. They're through the hospital. And Workforce is also matching some funds and not supplementing beyond those funds. So what we've been doing the past few months, ladies can attest, we've been meeting and trying to see what jobs best fit our community. That's why we put a whole different packet there. So we created some scenarios for you that are in your binders. Given the current health conditions of our community, Edinburg is we do have many careers in the health community. So basically at this time, we're asking the board to allow us to go ahead and continue with the programs. We plan on sitting down, re-meeting, and seeing how we can best amend the needs of our current community health conditions for some of these programs. Ladies, I don't know if y'all have anything.
So let me ask a question, Mike.
Yes, sir.
So I see that these are two programs, medical assistant and the diagnostic medical stenographer. Wouldn't it be more prudent for the and trust me, I'm all for job training, especially in the areas, in the industries that we need, so we can have higher paying jobs in the city of Edinburg. But my concern is that one of the things when I was president, we wanted to create a job training program blanket, where we collaborate with STC, we collaborate with the Workforce Commission, with the university, all these different entities, so we could establish a job training program, not only for the medical field, but also for industrial, for plumbing, for, construction side, all these different industries. And so what I don't see as fair and equitable is that we're only going with DHR, a private hospital, and another Workforce Solutions. Why can't we do this where it's equitable for everybody? Because I'm assuming that this program is these people that we're paying the tuition for, these students that we're paying for, that they're going to be working for DHR and DHR only, correct?
Correct. For this program, Councilman, it's a DHR program. Right.
So I think we need to look outside and do it equitably for everyone, so they can have those students when they graduate, they can decide where they want to go to work. Give them the best opportunity to make the most money, right?
Yes, sir. And actually, with that said, We do have, this is just one portion of the pre-budgeted monies. I believe I emailed the budget. We have other monies for job training programs with STC, with other local entities, other local colleges in the area. So we have been networking, and Workforce has been a real strong partner in saying, oh, we actually have another meeting with Region 1 for something else that we're looking at discussing in the field of education. And basically, we're just at this one aspect of what's pre-budgeted. But you're absolutely right. We want to make sure we exhaust every different type of industry other than just the medical field, and that are going to.
But what I'm saying is, under one big umbrella, we have all these different, industries and job training programs versus just piecemealing it. And Mr. Garza, working for the COG, you realize the advantages of having one big umbrella and having different programs under that umbrella, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. To me, it's more efficient if you have one program and then all these different departments, so to speak, under that job training program or workforce program, whichever you want to call it, versus having one agreement over here, another agreement over here, another agreement over here. I mean, to me, that defeats the whole purpose. You're not collaborating with all the industries and all the resources that are out there. I just feel that we would be doing our citizens and a disservice if we wouldn't think bigger, and instead of just doing piecemeal, one program here, one program there, that kind of thing. But again, that's just my thoughts.
Councilman.
Councilman, this is Jessica Martinez from DHR. So I just wanted to elaborate a little bit. I know it sounds like one of your concerns is that the students who would graduate from this program would be tied to working for DHR, but that is not the case. So of course, that would benefit the hospital, right? Because we do have staffing needs, right? But the purpose of this program and the purpose of the Health Science Institute at Renaissance is not to benefit DHR, but to benefit the community, right? So we just wanted to give people in the area another opportunity to go through these courses at a lower cost, or having their tuition paid for, of course. And so no student is tied or enticed to work for DHR. They could work anywhere that they wanted to. It's just they would be going through the program at our HSIR Institute.
Right.
So they're not tied to or forced to work at DHR. I just wanted to add that in there. I know, maybe they would apply because they're already here, but they are free to work at any clinic, hospital, or any other facility that they choose.
Right, Ms. Martinez, I could appreciate your comments, but according to the information that has been provided to us, you're referring your employees that are working there currently with you to this program. Am I not correct?
So enrollment is open to anyone and everyone. We've seen that for a couple of these programs, the majority of the applicants are internal applicants calling. So for example, we'll have some of our EVS staff calling to inquire about these programs, but we do have outside applicants as well. And there's no limitations on outside applicants, or there's no preference to internal applicants. So it is open to everyone in the community.
And that's where Workforce plays a big part, Councilman. They help us recruit Edinburg residents or residents that work in Edinburg that aren't tied to that entity, but that can benefit from the program.
Okay, so then on this page that was provided, it says deferred DHR and Workforce Solutions, and then for the medical assistant, and then for the diagnostic medical sonographer, it says DHR. So then that isn't the case. That's not what's happening then.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I don't know which sheet you're looking at. I don't have that, but as I mentioned, the enrollment is open to everyone, and I think what may have happened was, Mike, did you put that together by any chance?
No, it was something that we worked for with separately with Workforce, Councilman. In other words, referred by DHR, EDC, and Workforce Solutions, just using all three of our entities together to help recruit and get as many applicants as we can, so that then we can fill the slots together between all three entities. So not necessarily referred by DHR, but in partnership with DHR and EDC and Workforce Solutions. I apologize for the one where it says it's only DHR, but all three entities have to have we've been working real well together in trying to get the process moving. So we would work together in filling the slots.
Yes, sir. And just to make it clear again, I do want to reiterate that this program, or these programs rather, are open to any applicant. If we had 0 internal applicants, we would still have the programs running. It doesn't make a difference to us where they come from.
The reason, Councilman, we had DHR for there is because of the qualifications for that position for the program sonography are so detailed, the prereqs. So we wanted them to help us take the lead by utilizing some nurses, radiology techs, something of that nature because of the prereqs that were required for that position. But then we were concerned that we were going to have problems finding people to fit that need. So they took the lead on it. But for all of them, all three entities have to be involved.
Okay, so Ron, just FYI, so I would like to at least table this until you can look at it and review it a little more in detail, because the other aspect that I want to let my fellow colleagues know is that the school district in Edinburg, they're planning on doing a career technology building that's going to encompass all these different certification and programs, and a lot of them are going to be in the medical field. And so I think us working, collaborating, and combining our resources with the school districts and with DHR, South Texas Health Systems, Texas Workforce, all these STC, university, if we were to collaborate with all these individuals and really put a good program for our students, so when they graduate from high school, they're already certified with these certifications, and then they earn high-paying jobs right after high school. Because let's face it, not every student goes to college and gets an education afterwards. So these are the things that I would like to explore and see if we can get a big bang for our buck and really move our city in the right direction in terms of high-paying jobs. Because once you have the skilled workers here in Edinburg, guess what? We're going to have more industry coming into our city because we have the skilled workforce in our city. So to me, it's a benefit across the board. And I just would hate to piecemeal and do all these different agreements and MOUs with all these different organizations when we could do one big program that's going to benefit pretty much every citizen in our city.
Mr. Enriquez, I have a comment real quick. This CTE building that the school district is going to build, they're obviously going to build it, right? Brand new. It's going to be a new facility, or are they going to repurpose something that's already built?
We actually approved it at our last council meeting, that rezoning request. It's an old older or something like that building. It's like 80,000 square feet building that they're going to renovate. It's basically a warehouse, and they're going to put in all their industrial, their medical, everything in one campus, so they can have of course, when you have it all in one building, it's a lot more efficient, right, than what they have currently, where they have to bus these students from high school to high school. So and they're implementing programs for nursing, what do you call those?
NA?
Yeah, NA, all the nursing programs, all cosmetology, well-being. Yeah, I mean, they're going to do it all. And so I would like for us to bring all these people in, and let's really do an impactful program for our city. I think it would be something that every city would follow us if we were to do that. I mean, to me, it's just beneficial.
I agree with you, Mr. Enriquez. That sounds good for the students and for them to graduate with a certificate, like you say, and go straight into the workforce. that would just benefit everybody in the city. But also, I feel that would probably be at least a year away. Mike, this MOU is for a year or what?
This MOU is to take place as soon as we get the program approved by our board. Plus, it's for our working adults. It's for not necessarily for the students that are within the school district. It's for our adults that are trying to pretty much build a better life for their kids or for their families that may have had to maybe enter the workforce right away and looking for a chance to earn a skill that's going to help improve their life at home. So this is more adult-centered, if you will.
Right. People that are already in the workforce and they're just trying to take the next step and advance their careers. I don't have a problem with this program, Mike. Gentlemen, all the board, ladies, I don't have a problem with this. I'm all for it, especially if it's just for a year. And I also like the idea of centralizing everything with the district and with all these other entities, like you said, Mr. Enriquez. I feel that would be at least a year away for them to get that facility up and running and for their programs to become certified and everything that they need. We're also hitting two demographics. We're hitting like Mike Valderas just said, we're hitting the adults that are already in that workforce trying to advance. And with the next project, we would be hitting the up and coming youngsters. I'm all for this. That's just my personal opinion. I'm all for both ideas. Whatever we can do to benefit our citizens.
I got a quick question.
I have a few questions.
Go ahead, Mr. White.
Where's the MOU?
It's in the, it should be in your binder, sir. It should be the first page right after the second page after the proposed partnership. That starts with Health Science Institute and Renaissance. On top, Joey Trevino is the one that started it.
Post partnership?
And it would also be in the email because it did scan.
It's this one, Councilman White.
Yeah.
Top of that one? Okay.
Yes, sir. So this was just like, let's get the idea started and the ball rolling. That was the initial with from Joey.
It'll be the documents to start preparing the MOU, but it's not an MOU.
Right. It was just.
Right, because it says to discuss
MOU on the next page.
MOU.
The next page would just say immediate release that was done afterwards.
Sorry,
The partnership. And then behind that were just pages of some available programs that the Health Science Institute has.
Yeah, they call it like a courses book, but there's no MOU. That's about the entities and what them entities are going to be doing. Who's responsible for what? Mr. Vela?
Councilman White, it is titled MOU. It's headed, the header is MOU, but yeah, it does not look like a traditional MOU format. But it's the parameters of but it is headed, the header does say MOU on it.
Maybe come back with it, the responsibility of each party and the parties responsible for in an agreement with most MOUs that I've been involved in.
Yeah, you're right. Mr. Govine, you had some questions or comments?
Yeah, please. Of the 26 applicants, how many have been selected so far? Do we know? We haven't selected any.
Which
Ladies.
program?
But I guess for this program itself, it says there's 26 total. There's 20 for medical assistant and 6 for diagnostic medicine.
Oh, okay. So that's with what we have with workforce. We were coming up with the numbers. So DHR does have some ideas of people that have already expressed interest. Those are the available slots. They're not taking it this time until it's
The only program that does currently have students enrolled is the diagnostic medical sonography, and we currently have 5 students enrolled in that program. The 26 for the MA would be at full capacity. So the numbers that were projected were based on at full capacity. This is the max amount of spending.
And then I understand that they don't have to work at DHR, but at the end of it, is there a restriction for them to choose a position at least within the city limit of Edinburg?
No. From DHR's perspective, no. I can't speak for workforce or EEDC, but from DHR's perspective, there's no restriction at all. They just graduate from the program, and I mean, that's it as far as we know.
From Workforce Solutions, there's no restriction. All that matters to us is that they get employed.
Would it be an issue if we put that kind of restriction in with EDC giving the funds and us wanting to better our citizens in our city and help, repay tax funds and et cetera, and help our Edinburgh businesses out. Could we put that in there? I'm not sure.
From my perspective, the only issue I could see potentially would be that you would be limiting the residents to DHR, Edinburgh, and any surrounding clinics. You would restrict them from possibly going to McAllen Medical or any other clinics that are in the McAllen area. That's the only thing that I could see from my end. But from my understanding, there was a restriction on who the funds could go to, so they had to be an Edinburgh resident, but not necessarily work and live in Edinburgh, correct?
One time, for one of the past programs we've done, it was work and live in Edinburgh for some of the certification programs.
Aaron, would that be a legal problem, putting that restriction in there?
I don't think so, but I'd like to look into it a little bit more, only because of the funding that would come in from the other parties, and it wouldn't be our concern. It would be like Workforce Solutions, for example. But we could put any restrictions we want on where we want our funds to go, whether it be the particular students that are from Edinburgh and working in Edinburgh and live in Edinburgh, or whatever they may be. Whatever we're doing, I don't see an issue with us putting our own qualifications on there. The concern I would have would be any of the partners, so to speak, and their funding and what restrictions or concerns they might have.
Maybe we could even spread it out to a certain number from each high school or something like that, and then even include like our IDEA school and our Vanguard Academy, and kind of spread it all over Edinburgh and not just ECISD kids. We do have other school districts in Edinburgh.
Well, that's where the program with STC, the university, putting it all under one umbrella. I'm not saying just limited to students from ECISD. I'm talking all the citizens of Edinburgh being a part of this program, either through the ECISD, through STC, through university, through the workforce commission, all those entities. I mean, we're not limiting it just to the students, or at least I'm not limiting it to students.
Okay. Aaron, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gilbert.
The other question that I have is, so looking at that MOU, it has here at the bottom, students will be required to purchase textbooks from the program listed provided by HSIR for the PCT program. So the tuition of $4,800 per student, that doesn't take into account any textbooks at all? That's
no
fees?
Actually, in our last meeting with Workforce, basically can use their funds on certain things like curriculum at times. Correct me if I'm wrong, ma'am. And then if we put them both together, we put the both piggies together, then our monies can cover stuff like what their specific grant doesn't cover. So we can cover those books. We're trying to get the students covered as much as possible.
Okay, so that $3,400 of tuition, who is that payable to?
DHR,
that would be payable to HSIR, the DHR HSIR.
So we're paying you to certify your existing employees?
I'm sorry, I'm not quite understanding.
No, not necessarily to certify their existing employees, and correct me if I'm wrong, sir. It's being that they're their own learning center there, we're paying them for the tuition. So they hire the doctors, the nurses to help teach the courses that are needed. So this covers the tuition costs from DHR Learning.
Okay, so then what? So then I'm confused. So then this Health Science Institute at Renaissance, is this a school that DHR implemented?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's an actual school.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we're paying the tuition for these students that are coming to you from all parts of the valley, I'm assuming, right? Not just Edinburgh, but for everybody. But you're you're saying the residents from Edinburg, we would be paying just for those students, not anybody from McAllen or FAR or Mission or any of those other cities.
We can set those guidelines, Councilman. If you tell us we want you to either live in Edinburg or work in Edinburg, then we can go ahead and add those restrictions as the EDC portion of this.
Yeah, I think we definitely need to do that.
We did that previously in the certifications for CompTIA certifications and the other certifications that were approved about a year ago this time. We added those type of restrictions.
So currently how many students do you have a year per year in this school?
So this is the first year that we'll have all of the programs running. So the only program we have running right now, like I mentioned earlier, is the Diagnostic Medical Sonography program, and we have 5 students currently enrolled. Our phlebotomy and MA programs are scheduled to start in September of this year. Due to the recent events with COVID-19, DHR is prepared to offer these courses all online for the students, so they can still start at that at the appropriate time.
What is that start time, ma'am?
I can get you the exact date if you give me a second to look it up here.
Yeah, I got a question. You guys can have. On the, it talks about a medical assistance and a diagnostic margin. But then you look at the so-called, and I'm in favor of this, I'll tell you right now. But then you look at the so-called MOU and it just talks about medical assistant technology.
Correct, Councilman. We started with that, and we've been meeting throughout the year. We started with that MOU, and we've transitioned to the different needs of the community as to, okay, we no longer need that. Right now, the biggest shortage is in this. They've had a big shortage in like the phlebotomy techs, CNAs, medical assistants.
That goes back to what I'm trying to say. There is no MOU.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to clean up. I think we're all on board. I think we all agree that this is a good program. But there's just a lot of, and I know Mr. Garza, Mr. Vela, you all have been taking notes. I've been watching you guys. I know David, Councilman White, Mr. Enriquez, Hiram, myself, we all have legitimate concerns that we'd like to clean up before we go ahead and proceed with this. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a motion to table this item until we get it cleaned up.
Hey, real quick, can we discuss a little bit more? Okay, we got to the table.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was thinking, to be honest with you, I'd like to even go further until the school district builds something. But I mean, if you go through their catalog, they've got a bunch of good stuff that's probably great for all of our residents. But it'd have to be an Edinburg resident that we're going to pay for. I don't know if we can expand. I'd like to expand it. What I'm trying to say is into some of these other courses they have involved that they're working in the medical field. Why not? Why limit it to 2? We can do tuition help with workforce to our community in general. Like
yeah, we agree, and that's other things that we can look at. Ms. Martinez, did you get a start time on that?
Yes, sir. So the start date for fall would be September. Oh God. September 7th.
Okay, and in order for them to start on September 7th, they would have to be registered by what day? What's the deadline, the registration?
The last week of August.
And what are the total amount of slots available?
So the slots vary depending on the program, and so for the ones that you have in front of you, the MA is 26, and the ultrasound technology program is 6.
And
are you a nonprofit, Ms. Martinez?
The hospital?
No, this Health Science Institute at Renaissance.
As far as I know, it would not be a nonprofit because the funds do go back into HSIR for faculty and things like that. But that would be a question for Dr. Lynch. If you'd like, I can get her to dial in. And she's our VP of HSIR.
That's okay. That'll come when it comes back to us at a later date. Maybe she can be at that meeting. But
she's let me ask real quick, just so I can keep my notes. Dr. Lynch is the VP of what?
Of HSIR here at DHR,
okay.
The Health Science Institute at Renaissance.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Gilbert.
Okay, no, it was just going to be one last comment that I want to let my fellow colleagues here on the board know, and then Mr. Garza, that let's say that this goes through and we approve this. Just remember that there are a lot of other nonprofit programs out there that once they see that this was approved, they're going to come and ask for the same thing. And just be aware that once you open up one, and I'm all about equity, and I've said this from day one, if you're going to do it for one, you need to do it for all. And so that's why my opinion is you put it all under one umbrella, so you encompass everything, and you work collaboratively with all these nonprofits like the school district, the STC, the university, the Texas Workforce Commission. I mean, all these entities, you work with them, and you will encompass everybody versus doing these different programs. Because I can tell you, you're going to have the Vitas, you're going to have all these other nonprofits come and do job training, come to us and ask for money. So I'm just putting that out there for y'all's consideration.
Councilman Enriquez, just from another perspective too, it's something that I'll analyze, but obviously having private industry at the table is key and always lacking. So the difference here is that with DHR running their institute, we actually want to create a pipeline to see, not so much, I don't know how much they can go in terms of guarantee employment, but the connection to DHR gives them a kind of a fast track to that. So that would separate the difference between all other nonprofits, that if we create that direct pipeline to ensure that not only do you get trained, but obviously you get a job immediately afterwards, that'd be the difference. So if we could structure in a way that we'd have positional power there, then obviously we're only doing this so people could get higher wage and higher quality of life. So we can do that. It would help.
Right, I agree. But what I'm saying is that you do this program under all these in the public sector, you provide these programs and these certifications, and then the pipeline is the actual private industry. You're going to get those kids that come, the kids or the adults that come out of that program, and you're going to have a straight pipeline to that industry, regardless of what industry. It could be DHR, it could be Siemens, it could be Crane, it could be all these different corporations out there. That I'm just saying that once you go in agreement with an independent an independent program, then everybody else that has the same type of program is going to come asking us to partner with. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. And if we're going to do it for one, then we should be able to do it for all. Is my contention.
So again, if we can structure this that, if DHR could, because we've done similar ones where the private employer that's a partner to this would basically offer a conditional employment offer upon successful completion of the program, then that's really, again, how you differentiate any other nonprofit or training institute to say, we can't offer them a job, but potentially here we can connect it so strong to DHR that they could potentially offer them a guaranteed position upon completion.
Right.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and move along. Ladies, would you like to say any last words?
No, sir. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm always available if you guys have any additional questions or need any additional information from us for this.
Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. And if something does come up as we tweak this and kind of get it ready for the next time, because we will have a meeting before that registration deadline. Actually, we have a lot of time, but we're going to try to push it once we clean it up, and we'll be in touch with you. Thank you, ladies.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, gentlemen.
President,
President Salinas,
Yes, sir.
real quick, just based on what I'm reading within the binder, it shows that the MOU was already signed between the EDC and the DHR. But going back with what Gilbert is saying, according to the press release, it says that it is only for current residents of Edinburg and who are employed with DHR. And then it even quotes you saying that it allows individuals from Edinburgh who work at DHR as CNAs to become certified as patient care technicians in 32 weeks. So it's misleading, making it seem that it's only for employees of DHR.
Ron and Aaron, we're going to have to clean up a lot of this stuff, man, because what we don't want, like Gilbert says, is for DHR to be the only ones that benefit, and then for South Texas Health Systems, which is I guess their biggest competitor, not taking into account all these little clinics and little doctors' offices that we have all around Edinburg. We're definitely going to have to look into this and clean it up for that reason, because I would hate for someone to be in this program and be geared to go straight to DHR. So we could look into, I mean, just reach out to the other institutes, especially South Texas Health Systems, and see if they have people that meet these prerequisites. And maybe we can put something in there that they have to have a certain number from each entity or something, because we don't want them also to create these prerequisites that only theirs can benefit from. You know what I mean? We don't want to get caught in anything like that. So let's look at this. Let's really look at this in depth, and let's take some time on this. If the registration deadline is the last week of August, we got a couple of months. Of course, we can always call a special meeting, but on regularly scheduled meetings, we have some time where we can really do our due diligence and get this right.
George.
So, yes.
Just one more thing also, that we have to make sure that the individuals, that attend these programs, how much accredited is it actually really worth? Is it just basically a paper, or can they really go somewhere else around the state and be able to use it? Because a lot of times they pay this money to do these courses, and then to find out that, but only if you work in their hospital, because they're not going to take it at another hospital just because you got a certificate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You're absolutely right, Johnny. Absolutely right.
And then also, according to this, it says that the MOU was signed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Official MOU. And do we have to void that one and create something else, or how does that work? If we approve this and that MOU says they have to work at DHR, can only come from DHR.
The news release also says for a certified nursing assistants, and this one that there's the medical assistant technology.
I think we don't want to rush into something just so we can do something. I think we actually need to just really incorporate everything so there won't be an issue. Just like the work safe, stay home program, stay home work. I mean, we went through it. You said this, Ron. We went through it every day. You looked at different things, and I mean, that's what we need to do here. Because to me, this is an opportunity for the city of Edinburg to lead the valley in job training. With all our potential and with all the assets that we have in Edinburg, I mean, this is something that can't be rushed. I mean, we really got to do it. We got to do it very detailed, in my opinion.
I agree. Share later with Mr. Garza. We do have some other options with South Texas College, UTRGV, 6RNs. So we've been working with all the different entities. So, I think it's best now that we got Mr. Garza here with his background, we'd be able to share that and give you all something a lot better to present.
I just think we need to look more into the legalities and the liability of this agreement.
Okay, Ron, Aaron, you guys you understand the direction and what we want to do here?
Absolutely.
Let's just look at everything with a fine-tooth comb, and let's where we can benefit everybody. We don't want to get stuck that we're leaving some people out, or that we're doing favors for DHR or anything like that. So let's just be smart about it and cover all our bases.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, I made a motion to table the item.
I'll second.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second. All those in favor of tabling the item, raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We'll come back to this at a later time. Can I get a motion to go into executive?
So move.
Second.
All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We will go into executive session. The time now is 5:28 p.m. We'll let Ron set up the
Yes, sir. Councilor
executive
Salinas.
and
Yes, sir. Give me I need about 30 seconds here, and I'll confirm when we're in executive session.
okay.
Good deal.
Those in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. For the record, it's 8:45 p.m. Also for the record, Councilman Salinas left executive session at 8:38 p.m. For the record, there was no action taken in executive session. We have letter B, potential litigation, claim former executive director Augustine Gus Garcia demand for payment regarding his termination. Do I have a motion?
Move. Made a motion for legal counsel to proceed as instructed.
Right. I have a motion by Councilman Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter D, discussion and possible action on Ocean Gate agreements.
So move to allow the attorney, Aaron, to proceed.
As instructed in executive session.
Correct.
Okay. I have a motion by Councilman Garcia, second by Councilman White. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign.
I will be abstaining.
With one abstention by Hiram Govin. Motion carries. Item G, discuss and possible action on Edinburg Plaza, Dan Damon. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
As discussed in executive.
Motion as discussed in executive.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Govin, a second by Councilman Garcia. All in favor, please raise your right hand.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Letter A, discussion and possible action on Valley Metro LRGVDC. I make a motion to cover utility costs until EDC finalizes the lease agreements.
I'll second.
We have a second by Councilman Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned. Time is 8:48. Gentlemen, thank you. Take care. Be safe. The weather's bad out there, so it's starting to get bad. So if you're not home, be careful on your way back home.
All right, y'all be safe.
Thank you, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you.